picked this up towards the end of winter. It was a snow day, and I kind of just embraced the snow dayness of the day itself and decided to just plunge into this. Greenlights by Matthew McConaughey. Excuse you. I've filmed this twice, and every time Beau interrupts me with some sort of weird noise, so let's just roll with it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's give him a minute, people. Let's give him a minute. This is a book that surprised me with how good it was, because I feel like you never really know what you're getting into with celebrity memoirs. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. Most of the time they're just okay. I felt like this was more of on the better end of the spectrum. I didn't give it a 5-star, but as you know, I really reserve my 5 stars, so if I give something 5 stars, I mean I gotta love it. This I enjoyed. It's definitely a 4-star read for me, which is high praise in my book. Thematically, this is a book about a pilgrimage into manhood and Matthew's own experience with that. There are a lot of small stories and big stories that lead to different, I would say, levels in becoming a man, kind of coming into adulthood, coming into yourself, and what that means in various aspects of your life. I found it very relatable, kind of an old school, hard knocks perspective on what that might mean, which makes a lot of sense to me. I appreciate that tone and that honesty. The grit of it, I think, is very relevant and not something that you hear a lot about today. So I was very grateful for that sort of attitude being portrayed, and I really just enjoyed that kind of general tone. Another interesting thing about it is that it's kind of interspersed with these short little stories, sometimes a little bit longer, of his life and different things that have happened, with poems, just little quick notes. It's kind of is a bit of a journal in a way, which makes sense because I believe when he wrote this, he flipped through a lot of years of journals. So he kind of would add things in little poems that he had written or just notes. There's the occasional photograph, which I thought made it kind of interesting and different to break up the stories a little bit. And if you chose to read them, give you a different perspective on the event he's describing versus a different philosophical thought he had and how they might connect. What's challenging, I think, about a memoir is deciding a theme, basically. A lot happens in life, so what are we going to write about? And then once you've decided that, what to include and what not to include. I actually think that he did a great job sort of self-editing, or he had a great editor, or both, what he wanted to include. So the stories themselves never felt long-winded. I never got tired of a story. I never got bored, wondering where it was going. It was very cohesive, and that is something unique and I think rare in most memoirs in general, let alone a celebrity memoir. So I think it's a good read, enjoyable. There's certain things that are probably going to stick with me for a while with this book, which is saying a lot because, you read a lot of things. So certain little stories, little snippets definitely have stuck in my mind. I'm going to probably do a second video where I just share a few of my favorite little stories and maybe a poem that I liked from this. But as far as a book review video goes, 4 out of 5 stars. Do I recommend it? Yes. Would I say buy it versus borrow it? It's on the edge. Buy it, borrow it, whatever your heart tells you. But yeah, I thought it was a great read. There's no reason not to pick it up if you're interested in sort of one individual's journey into adulthood and the trials that one might go through on the path to manhood. So yeah, definitely enjoyed it. Glad to have read it. And thank you to Random House for gifting me a free review copy. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for dealing with Beau's interruptions. He can't help himself. He is a dog. So we'll just roll with it. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.